Hey, hi there, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. May of 2025's horoscope is offering up a huge amount of flow and ease with love, romance, creativity in your life. And it is a gorgeous time for your love stories to blossom or new ones to begin. We're going to talk about also how you may use this energy very effectively for passion projects connected to your purpose and to create something meaningful in your life. Welcome to the channel. If you're new, by the way, my name is Lori Lothian, and I'm using the Western Tropical Zodiac whole sign houses. And some of you know I am a junkie for those minor asteroids, but today's asteroid is going to be Juno, and she's not that minor. She's a goddess of love and marriage, contractual agreements. And isn't that a great painting of a horse behind me? I'm traveling, I'm in an Airbnb kind of thing in Arizona, and I just thought I would share I think a very beautiful, evocative painting. So if you're new here, you also might want to like and subscribe. It does help the channel grow, and you'll get weekly content, monthly content, and all the big events like eclipses here on my channel. Today, we're going to talk about your sky. Remember that you're listening for your rising sign because it can represent your character in the game of life, and it's most circumstantially accurate. If you don't know how to get your rising sign, you'll need your birth time, but I have a free video tutorial how to cast your chart in whole sign houses. And from there, you can find your rising sign. It's in the description box. But you know, your sun is your purpose in terms of career. It represents the true you. If you know you want to use a metaphor in a simulated game, the avatar that you choose is the ascendant, and then the soul or the game player is your sun. The moon energetically can often bring your attention to matters to do with home, like eclipses to the moon often change your home. I just went through that. So home and home-based matters, and how you feel about the life story that you're living. Now, first thing I want to say before we get rolling is I'm having two things to share with you this month. Starting on April 20th, you can get 2025 12 sign, all sign bundle video forecasts. That's 2 hours times 12, 24 hours of video content. Each one is 2 hours, plus a PDF guidebook giving you guidance for your year ahead based on your sign. And if you get the bundle, of course, you can listen to Sun, Moon, and Rising, and it's half price. It's half price till the end of May. It's going to be the Merry May sale, but I'll start that up on April 20th, and you can get it for $33. We have well more than half a year left, so you're getting a deal. And so go ahead and grab that. It'll help you get through the rest of this year. And you might want to also think about and time your best life. Coming to my astrology class this summer, I teach Sky Reader once a year. It's 6 weeks long. This will, I think, be my fifth or sixth time teaching it. And we're going to do how to time your best life and be your own astrologer. That's my tagline. Come join me. We're learning in June and July this year instead of my normal fall timeframe. And to get on the early bird discount wait list or to read about the course itself, check the description link below. And you can go ahead and get on that early notice for a discount on enrollment. All right, that's it. Let's go ahead and talk about the sky. I'm going to give you the overview with where the planets are going. And after the overview, we're going to open the sky up, and I'm going to go week by week. So you might want to get a pen and take some notes so you have kind of a map of the month ahead. Now, one thing I want to mention as a Sagittarius is your Jupiter ruled. And so a lot of what you need to focus on in general is what does Jupiter say about your sky? What's he doing? And technically, he's still in your seventh house. He entered there, marriage, committed love, public audience. He entered your seventh house. And back in 2023, in the month of May, and he won't leave fully until June the 9th of this year. Good news, he's in direct motion. For some of you, it was a real testing of whether a long-term committed love story or marriage type relationship is worthy of lasting or not for another 12 years. And some of you may have also begun new relationships under this auspicious transit. Jupiter always gives you what you need, not necessarily what you want. And I want you to remember that he's wise and he knows what's better for you. And of course, that condition still continues of his transit through your seventh house all month long. Now, Mercury is a very busy guy. He's moving quickly, and he's going to go through 3 signs of your chart in this month ahead. As we begin the month, because in mid-April, he entered the sign of Aries, and that's your 5th house. You may have been very busy with projects that are artistic, entrepreneurial, or creative. He rules communications, writing, ideas, commercial enterprise in that regard. And you might have also had a lot of conversations and communications with children or romantic love partners. I mean, emails, phone calls, texts going back and forth, a lot of engagement with those people, very likely to have occurred during this April 16th until May the 9th. So the first 9 days of May, he's still in that fifth house placement. Now, this is a lucky house, and he's going to be doing some lucky things in the sky when we break the week by week down. So stay tuned for that. On May the 10th through to the 26th, he will slide into Taurus, the sign of the bull, which is your sixth whole sign house. Please don't think about Placidus. Your sixth whole sign house is a work house. If you're a Sagittarius and things to do with job and work are on your mind, this is going to be a good window of time, May 10th to 26th, to apply for jobs, to take an interview, to ask for that raise or promotion, to communicate or negotiate better circumstances in the work environment. And just to give you a heads up, there's a little delicate window of May the 1st to the 9th. This is exceptionally positive for you to apply for the job, take the interview, ask for the raise, negotiate a promotion. So take that 1st of May to the 9th of May, where he's there with Venus, and you run with it. Okay, we'll get to Venus in a minute, but that's exceptional, proactive sky. It's also a good time for getting a new pet or signing a rental contract or lease, whether you want to rent your own property out as a landlord or you want to rent a property as a tenant. You got a kind of the first 9-10 days of May that are exceptionally positive. On May the 26th through to June the 10th, Mercury will move forward into the sign of Gemini. And Gemini is, of course, your seventh house where Jupiter is. All right, so this is a very auspicious combination of Jupiter and Mercury in that seventh house. It's not a bad time if you're single to go on a date. It's not a bad time to say yes to an offer. It's not a bad time to sign a legal contract of any sort that will be auspicious and positive and good for you. And so I would say use May 26th to June the 10th with the Jupiter/Mercury combo and say yes. You know, that legal contract will be very beneficial. In this case, it could be any kind of contract, a rental contract, a book publishing deal. We'll get to that later. A property purchase or sale if you want. Just contractual agreements have great benefit. And if you want to start seeing somebody and there's a lot of, pull to communicate, or there's someone's reaching out to you to get together romantically or go on a date or reconnect more deeply, say yes. Because Mercury here is very much in charge of that part of your sky. And he's going to be flowing to Venus in the house of romance. And I started this video by telling you it's a romantic glow up because on May the 1st, to June the 5th, Venus travels your fifth house of romantic love. And there's no two ways about it. It's auspicious. And it could lead you to an incredibly powerful love story, especially because she's going to be meeting Neptune there. And that makes for soulmate, kindred flame, twin flame, call it like you will, a profound spiritual connection in romance. So I see a lot of potential for the singletons to get romantically engaged and something new. And if you're with someone, to increase the fun, joy, play, pleasure, all of May through to June the 5th, in an existing romantic love story. Now, you could get pregnant, your partner could get pregnant, depends if you're a male or female, under this transit. So all of May till June the 5th, or your children could also be able to conceive during this Venus transit. So there's other elements there as well, May 1st to June the 5th. So keep that in mind. You do have Mars traveling through the house of grandchildren with Venus in the house of children. That could lead to a very strong capacity for the announcement that you're going to be a grandparent coming through May 1st to June 5th, or a conception by your child, and you find out later that that's when the baby was, put in the oven, so to speak. Mars is on May the 1st, already in Leo as you step into the month ahead. About mid-April, April 18th, he entered Leo. That's your ninth house. Doesn't leave there, by the way, until June 17th. So you're going to find that if you have a Sagittarius sun, moon, or rising between the degrees of 5 and 20 degrees, which is the range of motion that Mars makes in your ninth house flowing to your sun, moon, or rising, that you're going to really love this transit. Mars is courageous. He's working from the heart energy in the house of Dharma and deeper purpose and meaning of life. On a practical note, you might find yourself wanting to travel abroad. It can give you the great win in a legal court battle with judges and court matters. It could allow for you to be having a huge amount of passion around a publication or book publishing project. Or you might be, as I said, wanting to travel. But if you're traveling, in this regard, there's something about the travel that brings joy, pleasure, and maybe even romance to your life because of the placement of Venus in the fifth house, Mars in the ninth house, and your sun, moon, and rising, creating a big fire trine to this transit. And so use that energy. Go back to what you were doing in November and in December, because that is when Mars was also testing out the Leo zone. But then he bailed about January 6th and went back into your 8th house. But you could kind of go, yeah, like November 3rd to January the 6th. What was I doing in regards to publishing, book publishing, travel abroad, finding deeper meaning and purpose, legal court matters, and trying to win at them, or even things to do with academic environments, whether you're the professor or the student, being highlighted back then. So if you were teaching then, now you're going to teach some more. If you were learning then, you'll learn some more. That's really intense, beautiful energy for you. And it supports a sense of greater vitality, motivation, excitement, and willpower in your life during the entire month of May. On the Saturnian front, we're going to overview Saturn. Saturn is the lord of time and karma. He brings constriction, but also tangible, lasting results. What does Saturn say? He says, I've been hanging out in your 4th house since 2023. That's the whole sign Pisces part of your sky. And you might have felt, OMG, starting in like 2023 through till now, it's been hard to be home. Home alone feels hard, isolated at home, nostalgic or melancholic in the home, an elder parent or grandparent living with you in the home, feeling maybe that the home and alone is good. Because if you're good with being alone and Saturn's in the 4th house, your alone time at home, the solitude of that is okay. But if you also don't like that, and you might have felt isolated or constrained or lonely. And anyway, so Saturn is leaving the 4th house of home and homeland and domicile and residence, and moving into your 5th house of romantic love. And he'll be there for almost 3 years, but he just tests the waters. Give it like a 1-2, May the 25th to September 1st. He's going to go into that 5th house where Neptune is, making romantic dreams come true, making entrepreneurial business dreams come true, making artistic and creative projects take tangible form in music, art. It's great for starting an entrepreneurial business. If you've been waiting on the fence to start your own business, to launch a website, to do something like that, then this is a really good time for you, because Saturn will give you the long game strategies to make it work, and Neptune gives you the dreams come true. It's really good for starting a YouTube channel as well. Neptune rules that, or any videography platform. So go for it, and know that Saturn will be there, as I said, May 25th to September the 1st. Now we're going to show you the sky, and we're going to break down over the next few minutes the week by week story. Oops, hang on. Got to grab that sky. Whoa. Sorry, guys. I'm shaking because got you propped up on a bunch of props. You're traveling. It's not like you have your equipments with you. And here we go. Shaking the laptop. All right. Moving into the story. Sagittarius, you can see you're a rising sign over here. That's the Eastern horizon. And this is the whole sign house of your life. Please use whole sign houses in order to make Time Lord tools and predictions work. Come learn why and how in my Sky Reader class. I love teaching that. We have a lot of bonus modules. It's a fun course. May the 1st to the 4th, Venus and Neptune, the soulmate vibe. This is extremely powerful if you want to start a creative project, launch an entrepreneurial business, work on something, and initiate something new in creativity, art, and performance. This is wonderful as well if you're looking for romance, because Venus and Neptune together kind of bring that spiritual union, that higher love energy, the sacred union as well. And so any relationship starting under a Neptune-Venus conjunction, which is again the 1st week of May, is extraordinary. And you might find yourself, yes, with your twin flame, so to speak, in quotes, especially with Jupiter in the 7th house, bringing you the good spouse, the true spouse, the wise spouse. Now, when we move on and we look around maybe the 3rd, 4th of the month through till the 7th, we see that Mercury is talking with Jupiter, and that's just good news. Good news is on the way. So around the 3rd to the 7th, look for some good news. Mercury and Jupiter can be, because Mercury says phone calls, texts, and emails, and or conversations, an offer to go on a date. It can also help you heal a chironic wound around your romantic and sexual life that you may not have been able to really kind of come to terms with. And that looks like a healing energy as well. It could also be a very good time to have a deep and profound and healing conversation with a spouse. And it may also be an opportunity for an entrepreneur or a creative artist to get a golden opportunity, a lucky break in your creative or artistic or entrepreneurial business connected to legal matters, contracts and agreements, and or broader exposure to the public or the marketplace. So for you artistic and creative folk, look to the 3rd to the 7th to be extraordinarily positive. An invitation of some sort may come to you, and it may involve more success for you in your career. So just say yes. Well, this is all happening. Venus and Pluto are creating a wealth yoga or a positive energy about power and wealth. Now, Pluto is the god of riches, and he is talking to Venus. She's a money goddess in a money luck house called the House of Good Fortune. Yeah, I'd say it wouldn't be too shabby to buy a lottery ticket just for fun, or even a scratch off ticket. That kind of sky can certainly deliver the goods May 3rd to the 7th. In the meantime, if it comes back to the romantic part of it, this is meeting someone in an educational setting, a travel setting, in the local neighborhood, like going to the restaurants or bars. You might meet someone in those environments under this energy. And any relationship that begins under a Pluto-Venus sextile will be deep, profound, emotionally engaging, transformative, catalytic, and regenerative. And of course, what I'm kind of saying, singletons, is a whole first week of May is a golden time to take a date or two, because you might actually come into contact with your person. Now we come into what I call the oasis, a very quiet sky. This sky is like calm waters at sea or doldrums. The planets are not doing anything of any major importance. So what I would like you to think about May 8th to the 16th is going inward, reflecting on what you want for yourself, who you are. You're not being pushed and pulled by planetary forces that are, kind of grabbing you. And so use that as a kind of introspective, reflective check-in with yourself. That said, there's one thing happening of note, May the 12th. So even though it's quiet, May the 8th to the 16th, on May the 12th, we have a Scorpio lunation at 22 degrees. The moon is full in Scorpio. So we will show you the sky, and you'll see that the moon is full conjunct Juno, the asteroid of committed love and business relationship, anything one would make a committed vow towards. And the moon is full in the 12th house. And the 12th house is an interesting place because it's very karmic. The axis of 612, the moon is reflecting a Uranian breakthrough. You could have a big breakthrough in a karmic relationship, a fulfillment, a completion of a karmic relationship, initiation of a new karmic relationship that surprises you. The Uranus is considered, Uranus, Sun is, and Mercury is in a dating house. So 6th house is prior to commitment, 7th house is commitment. So you may experience some exciting and electrifying and breakthrough energy regarding the word dating. And with Juno, past life connections with this person, connected to being married before and revealing that you've been together before, feels very familiar. These are possible stories here for sure. And especially given that Uranus is flowing to the south node of fate, indicating any dating you're doing here, past life connections, excitement. Now, on a practical note too, like on a more everyday note, you may have some unexpected situations revolving around expenses and debts connected to someone else in your life, Juno, or commitments to those debts and expenses and paying them down. 6th house is those matters. With Saturn North Node in the 4th house and the flow, the wedge formation to this moon, an opportunity to rent a property in a distant shore. I mean, I'm going to go over there and rent that property and live there. Or it could be foreign lands or just far from where you currently live. Or an opportunity, in this case, to rent your property to someone else and become the landlord. Indentured servitude. The 6th house also includes tenancy agreements. So keep that in mind. It's like serfdom, you don't own, but you rent. So there's something going on for you guys there. And the moon is full. And it means in the 2 weeks after April 12th, May 12th, add 2 weeks, you might find that the conversation about property, rentals, debts, and expenses are majorly in your face, and you're working with it. I like this as a moon because Saturn is flowing to it with the North Node, destined changes of home, property, real estate connected to the themes I mentioned. The only other thing I could say is a rescue pet could come out of this. If you've been thinking about getting an animal, there may be a sudden opportunity. Mercury is the news or information or the contracts to get that animal or to get that rental agreement or to pay down the debt, service a debt. Some things are like that here. Moving forward and talking about the very busy sky, May 17th to the end of the month. So I'm going to try to keep my pace as calm and slow as I can. I know I talk fast because there's a lot happening. When we get to the 17th, we see the Sun and Uranus will co-join together. Sun-Uranus is happening once a year since 2018 in the sign of Taurus. So it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal this time because there's a very powerful star connected to the decapitation of the Medusa here. And also it can be bringing about wealth. So I don't know what to say about the 17th in the sense that the sixth house isn't really a work situation quite often. And there may be something going on in the workplace or the work settings that's surprising, shocking, or unexpected to do with a boss or higher up or an authority figure, like they're quitting, they're getting fired, something like that. Or the same thing applies to those rental contracts and agreements. There's a sort of a surprise element here, and it's coming right off the moon on the 12th. It's very connected to that moon. And so surprise, you've got an offer to rent your property. Surprise, someone wants to rent your property. Surprise, take it in good stead, right? Surprise, surprise, surprise. But that surprise on the 17th is being reiterated or brought back to you again later on the 24th of the month, when Mercury also then follows up. As you can see, Mercury's going to be moving forward and also talks to Uranus. So it's a two-part story. Put on your calendar. How does May 17th connect to May 24th around those times? There's going to be a way you see those dots connect. Now, as we go forward, Mercury is this is a calm month, but Mercury's having a fight with Mars. This is one of the rare, difficult times this month. The fight between the two of them is May 17th to the 19th. And, Mercury, he's like the talker, the communicator. He wants to say something. He might have a contract or two up his sleeve. And you'll see that this tension is here on May the 17th. Now, this tension doesn't just start and stop at one day or one moment. You'll be feeling it anytime from about the 14th or 15th through to about the 19th, where something important is being negotiated or discussed regarding book publishing, academic environments, visas, travel plans, or disputes regarding lawsuits. Your lawyer is Mars. He's strong. He's battling for you. You look like you get the win, but this would be then contracts, mediation agreements regarding legal matters. But it's contesting hot energy, and it requires a huge amount of action and decision-making intensity in that window of time. Again, May 17th, 18th, 2 days before and after, there's a lot of short and intense communication. Now, moving forward, on May the 19th, the Sun and Saturn are in a very lovely, very easy conversation together. And it starts to build on the 17th. And by the time we get here, you'll notice that the 29 Sun and the 29 Saturn are copacetic. And what it means is simply this. Something wants to really happen in a positive but life turning point way, 29 degrees, regarding land, property, home, real estate, where you live, agreements and contracts, and maybe connected to rentals. I'm not too sure about buying. I'm going to say that much. The moon on the 12th could indicate sale or purchase. That's true. But this little spot here, not so much. I will give you some guidance. After the June 9th timeframe to July of next year, Jupiter in the 8th house will give you unexpected chunks of money, divorce settlements that favor you, inheritances, but also favorable opportunities to purchase a property because favorable outcomes regarding mortgages and lending. So keep that part of the story in the back of your mind. If you're going to sell a property or want to buy a property, wait till June the 9th onward. But there's something going on here. It looks very contractual, a contract to take the pet, a contract to secure the rental agreements. If you want to work from home, yes, this is a work from home opportunity that's going to allow for that as well. And again, we're seeing it happening exactly on the 19th. Give it a day or two before and after. When we move into the next major story, this is Venus. From the 19th of May to the 24th, she's in a cosmic lovers flow that's very lucky, and she's flowing to Mars. Now, you'll feel it really exact there on the 19th. It starts to build, funny enough, around here, So I'll go like the 15th, 16th of May. It kind of becomes unwound by the 25th of May. And the gist of it is romantic and travel and play and pleasure and fun, academic success, creative success, educational success, entrepreneurial success, book publishing success, traveling success, and luck and ease and flow and harmony. And it creates a fire trine to your sun, moon, and rising. So, of course, if your sun, moon, and rising are anywhere near 14, 15, 16 degrees, then you're going to really enjoy this, just see that like 14, 15, it's such a nice energy. Then they keep hooking up together. Now it's at 16 degrees, all said and done. they keep wanting to talk, they won't let each other go. So it kind of begins to fade out by the 26th. So again, I started by telling you romance is in the air for you. And if you're in a relationship, then you're rediscovering the joy and the fun together. Maybe you're traveling abroad, maybe you're planning trips. Things like that can really support the relationship. If Jupiter gave you the thumbs up to continue with the love you have, sure. Otherwise, some of you may be getting ready for divorce settlements as Jupiter moves into your 8th house. So we love the romantic vibe. Who doesn't love fun, play, pleasure, romance? Oh, and this whole signature, again, the conception of children and grandchildren can be activated here as well. And again, we'll say like the 15th of May through to the 26th. And when we move into the next story, I would like to draw your attention to the sun forming a sextile to Neptune. It's a very gaseous, spacious vibe. It would be really good for a creative artist, an entrepreneur, a musician, a performer, a filmmaker, an actor, actress, to have some success professionally with the audience or marketplace. There's a nice little window of, yes, I've got this. On around the 21st of May, I'd say the 20th to the 23rd of May, look for a nice perk there in your career, if you're in those creative or entrepreneurial endeavors where you have a massive light in the house of the public or the audience, going back to the artistic, creative 5th house and entrepreneurial 5th house. And then it could support like romantic love and feelings of twin flame love and stuff like that as well. When the sun is trining Pluto right here, this is a powerful uplift. It really wants to power you up in travel, short distance, neighbors and neighborhood matters, sibling one younger, connections to educational learning or teaching for skills-based learning and teaching, and some superior focus on that brings luck and opportunity, but also feels easy and flowing. And because the 7th house is involved, you may be brought into something to do with public audience marketplace, or someone wants to offer you something like, come on this trip and teach, or would you like to, travel here for your professional advancement? The sun here is the ruler of Leo, and Leo in your sky is 9th house, also travel and distant shores and lands, or teaching and learning opportunities. Yes, it's a nice vibe. Yes, it's around the 21st, 22nd, 23rd of May. Now, then Mercury touches down on the 24th and hits Uranus just like the sun did on the 17th. It's probably the same story, and now it requires paperwork, legal discussions, detail orientation, but he can still bring shocking news. Maybe the sun planted a seed and you don't know what it is, and suddenly, bang, surprise. Surprising, unexpected letting go of your job. You lose your career path. Sorry, it would be something better coming. Unexpected, exciting opportunities regarding property, home, real estate, land, rentals. Unexpected, exciting news about pets. And if you have any health challenges, this could be also both on the 17th and later on the 24th, unexpected surprises around health. What I like about this is the moon is exalted with this conjunction of Uranus, and it should mean good news about your health or positive news about your health around the 24th rather than difficult news. That's what I would say. Okay. With the energy of Mercury in a flow to Saturn and Neptune, coming on the May 26th new moon in Gemini, we have one of the best new moons of the year, and it favors you greatly. This moon happens at 6 degrees of Gemini on May the 26th, 27th, time zone dependent, with Mercury midwiving it, the Lord of the domicile of Gemini, in power, telling even wayward Jupiter what to do. You'll notice that as this lunation is forming, Mercury is talking to Saturn and Neptune, and he's also talking to Pluto. You can't go wrong. It's just really lovely. And it can indicate a kind of, with a mini grand trine, which is miniature grand trine has been great ease and flow and luck, that something lucky wants to happen with writing projects, marketing and selling business websites, online social media, things to do with your creative projects, writing, singing, dancing, music, whatever you're up to. And it can also be good for romantic love because of the energy of that 5th house being so stacked. So if you're involved in dating or you're just starting to meet somebody, then it could be exciting new beginnings, because a new moon plants a seed that lasts for 6 months. And also you could say for 2 weeks after, you should know what this means because it's a new beginning in the house of commitment. It could be that you've begun dating somebody and now there's a deeper commitment. That would be an example. This could also be really exciting if you have any desire for shorter distance travel connected to creative and entrepreneurial projects. And fortune favors you here. It's a new beginning in the house of committed love with Jupiter in domicile. It can lead in the 6 months that follow to a monogamous, cohabitating, even committed love story, or just leveling up an existing dating relationship to deeper commitment in the 6 months that follows this moon. And it can be very fortunate for legal contracts. So Jupiter rules legal. Mercury's a negotiator, new beginnings, any legal contracts regarding online, creative, and social media things or projects, entrepreneurial or creatively, and legal matters working in your behalf. For example, just simply getting incorporated could be a symbol of advanced wealth here. So if you're not incorporated. Now, Sun Mercury Cazimi means a 6-week reset is going to happen. And this is going to occur on the 29th, 30th of the month. This is Mercury in the heart of the sun at 9 degrees of Gemini, 8, 9, but it's really, going to breach both degrees really. So really 8, 9 degrees. So Mercury's in the retrograde, Mercury's in direct, not retrograde motion on the other side of the sun, doing a cosmic reset button. In the 6 weeks that follow, May 29th, you can get amazing information to do with how to succeed with the audience, marketplace, public. You might have new insights and understandings about that. You may begin a powerful new relationship. You may also have all legal contractual matters worked in your behalf. You win the lawsuit, you win the contractual agreements, you get the mediating going. It's a blessed energy. Pay attention to the time of the 29th, 30th for insights and messages from the dream realm. And it also is a Cazimi that opens up some energetics from Pluto, which is a lovely air trine. So it can be really good on your wealth and your power if you're a teacher, a writer, a communicator, and an online presence. Okay, it can give your social media a boost in the 6 weeks that follow this particular story. Thanks for listening. Don't forget, if you like and subscribe, it helps the channel grow. If it grows, I put up more content because I'm motivated. Like I get the dopamine carrot, right? Oh my God, I got more subscribers. If you want to check out everything below, Substack, my Zoom calls are 3-month Zoom calls a month, 3 times with me at Zoom in my community there. Patreon, I mean, and my Substack, I read about the Pluto Chronicles, and I'm unplugged, and I talk about what I think about the wars in the world, the politics of the world. And so if you want to get more of the real me, that's over on Substack. And I'm just, recognizing I can't endanger my revenue here by being deplatformed. So check me on Substack for the real me unplugged. And we have a Zoom meeting for founders as well over there. Thanks, guys. Don't forget, like, subscribe, join my Cosmic Moonshine newsletter. We have contests where you win free prizes, including I gave away 3 free readings in the last 2 months to celebrate my life, my birthday, my 100K. And so you would have been having a chance for a reading with me if you had been in my Cosmic Moonshine newsletter for those contests. All right, take care. Ciao, ciao.